Welcome back to DXB Today, where we're all talking about trying to get our own piece of the pie of Dubai's property market. So our next guest is the CEO of White & Co. Real Estate and has some great advice for first-time buyers, renters, and sellers. So please welcome Calum White. Calum, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you know, if you were listening earlier on, we were talking about how everything that goes up must come down, and Rashid had a great answer for that one. We're talking about Dubai's property market. Do you see it slowing down anytime soon?
I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I think there's a real sentiment in the market at the moment, which we're finding international buyers and people from around the UAE really have trust in the Dubai market. More homes in Dubai last year, over $10 million, were sold in Dubai than London and New York combined, which just shows the wealth of the world is seeing what's here, the safety, the sunshine, everything that we have where we call home. And I just think that the sentiment in the market is still very strong.
True. We were talking about investment and like where to invest in Dubai. So if you have any neighborhoods or any places that people might look out for off plan, or maybe something that's close to finishing up as well, if you can tell us something.
Of course, no problem. So the first thing I'd look at is your motivation. Are you looking to get some investment property and then exit, or is it going to be somewhere to live? If it's an investment, I would definitely be looking at JVC, off plan. Yes. You buy property in JVC at off plan, you save it for a year, you hold on to it, and then you will find that 20 to 30% premium, and that's what a lot of our clients right now are doing. And the good estate agents are going in there and with an investment plan. We're not just saying buy this, we're looking at how to create wealth for our clients. And on the other side, for end users or people with families and want to live there, I think Dubai Creek, with the infrastructure now done down there, it's a fantastic community they're building. It's really beautiful, and it's definitely a place to keep your eye on.
True. It looks really nice, especially with the view that you have of the Dubai skyline from there. True.
A lot of questions I get is, can we do the flipping anymore? So a lot of people come into Dubai and be like, we want to flip. So I think they have the wrong idea of flipping. What would you say?
I think that flipping is harder now than ever. The market is not, when I first started in real estate, you had to talk people into buying property. Now they're going to buy property, it's just whether it's with you or someone else. So the market has definitely raised, but we're still way lower valued than other major cities in the world. So there is still a lot of value in it, but for buyers in the market, to buy a property and then do a quick renovation and flip it, it's not as easy as it used to be. You would have to put some real quality and skill into the work to get a flip. It's not just throw up a media wall and suddenly get that sold. It doesn't work like that as easily anymore.
Calum, what would you say are some of the common challenges, particularly expats face when it comes to buying property here?
Absolutely. So first of all, it's a non-transparent market. Unfortunately, the buyers, the tenants, they don't have access to all the information that we have. And unfortunately, even listings that you see on the portals, most of those are shared by 3 or 4 companies, which makes buyers think that there's 3 or 4 more properties available when really it's the same one. And it creates a false security, thinking that there's lots out there when there's not. And then on top of that, moving to a new country is hard enough, then buying a property, then so on. It really needs to be more transparent for everyone. And the entry level for brokers in the market, they need to make it a bit tougher for brokers to get a license.
And do you think the rules when it comes to the down payment might be a little bit more relaxed down the line, because paying that 20 or 25% is not for everyone? It is still a lot of money.
Agreed. Well, they did have, there was a catalyst during COVID where they made things a bit easier for everyone so that we could buy property. But now the market is showing so much demand, and, it's getting tough to even keep up with the population growth. Therefore, the developers and the people don't need to make it easier for people to enter the market. It's a real shame to hear, but it's true. These payment plans of 1% per month for 3 years, 5 years, they're not around anymore because they're being bought anyway. And it's just a sad fact, but this is supply versus demand. It's what all markets run on, and Dubai is a lot of demand and not as much supply as it used to have.
Oh, Calum, I got to go back to the numbers that you mentioned earlier. Of course, these are big numbers, and I think I'm probably the only one here trailing behind and not getting a piece of that, because everybody here is a property owner. So I'm wanting to be one of those as a first-time buyer. what would you advise to someone like me? What are some practical tips that you could share?
Oh, absolutely. Your practical tips is, first of all, speak to a few different agents. See who's actually asking the real questions. They want to find out your motivation for moving. They want to ask more about you, not just when do you want to see the property. You know, find someone that actually cares. So find someone that you're going to have a long-term relationship, because it might be your first property now, but you don't want someone that you buy a property from and then they disappear 2 weeks later. You know, and that is, unfortunately, it happens. And then on top of that, you need to do your due diligence as well. As much as I say it's not a transparent market, there are a lot of tools out there that people can get access to see what prices things are selling at. The main portals in the market also have things on their tools where you can find out what something sold at, what it didn't. So try and educate yourself the best way you can. And yeah, just don't be fooled for the first thing you see. Go and see a few things in the market, but unfortunately it still moves so quick right now, you can't wait too long.
True.
Calum, with your expertise in the market, what are the emerging hotspots right now, you would say?
Yeah, the emerging hotspots. So down in Jeddah, there's a lot of things going down there, in Jeddah.
Especially with the freehold.
Especially with the freehold, with what just happened recently. So there was a change of a lot of properties on Sheikh Zayed Road and Jeddah changing to freehold over leasehold, which now means that, you know, it's a lot better for expat buyers and things of the like. And then on top of that, I would definitely look at anything waterfront community right now. You cannot stop seeing the value in that. It increases in price, the capital appreciation, the rental income, anything that's in front of the water.
I usually call waterfront properties a defensive asset.
Yeah, it's true.
You never exit and you lose in them. So and if you sell at the right time, even if you sell distress, you're gonna sell at the same price at least. So
we asked this question to Rashid earlier about, you know, what is the best place to invest in, and he did mention off-plan. With off-plan, there's of course huge risk associated with it, because I mean, you are assuming that you're going to have the funds and your salary for the next year or 2 or 3 years until the property is completed, and until then it's just like it's paused, right? You can't rent it out, but you're still paying in the installments. So what are some tips that we can follow to avoid these risks attached to buying off-plan?
Absolutely. So I break it down to sort of 3 things. First of all, it's the location, and then it's the developer, and then it's the project. You need to make sure that the location has reputable standing in the market. Is it somewhere where people want to live? Then the developer, is it their first project? There's nothing wrong with people having a first project. But if you are investing in your first property, maybe you want to look at someone that's done 4 or 5 developments or more. And then finally, does the project suit your needs? Don't just buy it because it's off plan. You know, make sure it's something that you really want, because like you said, there are risks involved. The upside is a lot of risk, a lot of reward, but it's not always like that. But what I can say is in this market now, it's a lot safer to invest in off plan than it ever was.
Do you think technology is helping in somewhat in finding houses? For example, you have all these virtual tours online and like AI helping in somewhat. Do you
Absolutely.
see that helping?
I don't think we're in any worry of them replacing us yet, but what I'd say is if you can use the tools of a broker and real life people, but also combine it with the tools of AI, it's fantastic. You know, if both the real person and then also something that has no agenda is also telling you the same information, it's really great. And we see a lot of tools that have that, a lot of price marketing where they say, you know, we can see this through the data, but then also us brokers who are in the real world, we can see it through the data as well. And if both people are telling you this is the right thing to do, it's even more that suggests that's the right thing to do.
Well, Calum, thank you so very much. You have been very fruitful in this conversation, so thank you for all the information that you shared with us.
Thank you, hugely appreciate it.
Well, real estate, like many industries, I think many of us can agree, has been dominated by men mostly. But after the break, we're going to be finding out how a lot more women are making waves in the industry, so stay with us.